up, YouTube? It's your boys, PDubs, Arcade Loft, MichaelB The Game Genie, and Restalgia. Guess what? Detroit Love is out on a date night with his lovely lady. That's right. Detroit Love's got to pay the rent tonight. So while he's doing that, we're going to still keep this show moving. Do us a favor, guys. Don't go anywhere. Go ahead and give us a thumbs up because you're going to enjoy this broadcast. It's another episode of the Super GameRoom Dudes coming up next. What is going on, gentlemen? 'Tis Friday, and Friday might just be my favorite day of the week. That's when a lot of cool things happen. New movies hit the theaters. Usually big news drops. People get excited for the weekend. It's time to play video games and make YouTube videos all weekend. Spend time with my best friends on the internet here today, you know? Like, dude, I love Fridays. What about you guys, man? Fridays are like the shit to me. They're awesome.
Best friggin' day of the week.
Best freaking day of the week.
I agree. I look forward to every Friday.
Restalgia, I just want to comment, like, the machines in your background look really bad and your coloring's all off. You should use some kind of software enhancement to try to fix your picture quality.
I tried real hard, and it looked so good until I push it up to the stream, and then it's super choppy. So you guys get to deal with my subpar camera quality for now.
You know, speaking of that, what's funny is you guys know the Tech Buzz, right? Tech Buzz Steven? Steven did a video, I think he published it yesterday, where he was saying, hey, here's some tips and tricks if you want to be a YouTuber, like lighting. Like the first video in this series was about lighting, and make sure you have lighting at 10 and 2 and stuff. It was really good. It was a really good video. It's something that you'll see a lot too when you like Google, like how should I set up my lighting, right? You really don't want to have it shining in your face. Now, me, usually, I purposefully have a third light shining in my face, and that's because I'm Irish. I got very fair skin with rosacea and red tones, and if I don't have a light shining in my face, like, it makes me look all red. You know what I mean? So today, I tinkered with my lighting. I just have lights at 10 and 2. I don't have that bright light in my face. And I don't look too horrible, do I, Mike? Do I look okay?
I'd bang you.
You'd bang me? All right. Good.
Yeah.
All right, good. But I do that on purpose. Like, I white out my face on purpose because I hate, you know, when you're Irish like me, guys, this is a hot mess. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have that beautiful Restalgia type skin. You know what I mean? That caramel macchiato, skin.
I could fall asleep looking at that every night.
And then have nightmares about it.
That's what I was going to say too.
A lot of cool stuff we want to talk about. We definitely want to touch base on a couple of movies tonight because let's be honest, we're all nerds and we grew up with these movies. And when we find out that Michael Keaton is coming back, well, I mean, we already knew, everyone's known for the last year, that Michael Keaton was going to come back as the Batman in the Flash movie, or Flashpoint, however they want to call it. We finally got to see the trailer and the footage. And
yeah, it's like Carl always talks about the stuff with arcades. He's like, it's all vaporware until you see it. So Michael Keaton being Batman was exciting until you see him come out and he's like, yeah, I'm Batman. And then all the emotion feels get there. So nice having a good representation of Batman again. I mean, for so long, we had Christian Bale, who's a gifted, talented actor, but was an absolute hack in that series of movies. I mean, literally, they made a whole series of comedic jokes about his acting called Bad Man, talking about how shit his character was. Isn't that right, Restalgia?
Yes.
So we want to talk a little bit about that. Plus, we want to talk about Arcade1Up, iiRcade, AtGames, the works. Pinball FX went live on consoles. I know Mike was able to squeeze out a video real quick. I actually messed with it today. I actually got some concerns, which we'll talk about. And then what else? What else, Mike? What else was on our agenda? We seem to have always a full list every week.
I think we were going to talk about Arcade1Up Update, the show that went on. Of course, you've told me that I'm not allowed to spend 26 minutes on it. We've got to keep it to 5. Okay. So we're also going to talk about iiRcade released a ColecoVision game today, so we can have a little bit of a conversation about that. There's not too much to say. I mean, it's another ladder game, so we'll talk about that. And basically, we've got our game of the week, and we'll just talk about whatever kind of comes up. It's like spending a night with Restalgia, you know? Whatever happens, happens.
I was teasing Mike earlier today because he's like, I'm going to make a video. I want to give my reaction to the Arcade1 update show. And it's going to be 26 minutes long. That's what he said. And when he said that, I thought he was kidding. Like, I didn't think he was serious. And the video went live, and I saw it was 26 minutes long. And I was like, holy crap, Mike, 26 minutes. That's a lot of reactions, man.
Well, like honestly, everybody was saying there's no information, but like I go through it and I pick everything apart. So I thought there was tons of information.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Let's say hi. Who's here in a live chat, and then we'll dive into the show as always. If you're here, let us know. Let's see who's earned shout outs this week, ladies and gentlemen. As always, Dr. Freeman is here. Apuck, Sonic Fun. Glenn's Retro Show, the godfather of retro gaming. Adam Kolb is here. Andy's Game Room. Chris McCloy, Nooner, Zero Cool, JR, Mitchie B, MG, Jason M, Orion's Dream, Sonic Fun, Chris McCloy, Allen's Ageless Arcades, Carbon Center, Prince, Malcolm is here. Console Kits, Biggie D, Joey Hansen is here. Thanks so much for joining the Ruminati. Nerd Lounge Master Quentin is here. Chris Zeke is here, and hopefully his lovely wife Nikki is watching as well. Big shout out to Nikki. Cowabunga Dude is here, and Detroit Love, you're here. Oh, he's listening in the car.
So someone suggested we send a link out to Glenn, and I know this is supposed to be a team thing, but maybe we can. If Glenn's not doing anything, maybe he could stop by and be our fourth.
Yeah. Do you guys want Glenn's Retro Show to make a cameo appearance on the Super GameRoom Dudes? Let us know in the live chat, and we'll consider it. In the meantime, what do you know how to send him the link, or do you want me?
I got it.
You got it. All right, you'll set it. That's right. I said it right, Orion, and I am notorious for being the worst pronunciator on YouTube because I always say words wrong. So, oh, there it goes. There's a bit of a delay. I don't know what's taking so long here. Jeez.
Yes to Glenn. That is something not a lot of women have said.
Yeah, there you go. See, look at that. It finally popped up. I clicked on it like 10 seconds ago. All right. Well, that's weird. Let's get that off of there. All right, cool. All right, we'll see if Glenn wants to join us. So in the meantime, Michael B. Restalgia, what would you guys like to talk about? Can
you go back to that viewing? I was just Restalgia is just I can't deal with it. Like I just. Yeah, there it is.
What you wanted?
That's
like
much
this?
better. Yeah, I just can't look at his horrible looking consoles in the background. It's like he has no respect for his surroundings, camera quality.
Mike, I don't think you understand. I've spent
He's so mad.
literal hours on this over the last 2 days trying to figure this out.
I was on a chat with him the other night, and he was going over how hard he wanted his stuff to look good in the background. That's why I love digging this in tonight.
Oh, it's so painful, man. I've been trying so hard. I even went and I grabbed the camcorder that I had that's like 4K, and I got it plugged in, but the stupid thing can only do HDMI out, and I can do HDMI out, but as soon as it's complicated and it's frustrating, and I will figure it out someday. Maybe next week.
I want to give 2 shout outs real quick. Number 1, Digipunk. Apparently it's his birthday today. So everyone in the live chat, we're one big family here. Let's all wish Digipunk a big happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday from the Super GameRoom Dudes. On top of that, look who said happy birthday first. Jason M. Jason has been one of our best moderators. He's here every week. He's a big fan of the show. He stays for the entire broadcast, and he does an amazing job keeping all the riffraff and blowhards and trolls and drama queens out of our live chats and shows. Jason, big shout out to you, my friend, for always being here supporting the show. Big shout out to Jason as well in the live chat.
That's not 100% accurate. I can still see Restalgia's comments in the chat while I'm watching the
show. Be nice to Restalgia. All right, let me get this off my screen. All right, Michael B., let's get the show started proper. We've already wasted our traditional 10 minutes. But before we do, he's here! Glenn is here. Glenn's Retro Show. Give him a warm welcome in the live chat. It's been a couple of months since we had Glenn on. Glenn, how are you, my friend?
Hey, good. How are you guys doing? I have been a bit of a hermit as of late, so thanks for the invite. I appreciate it.
So good to see you, brother.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys too. I've been in self-imposed exile, but I think, you know what? It's time to get out of the exile and get out there and enjoy the world.
You're goddamn right.
No better place to do it than with your boys on the Super GameRoom Dudes.
That's right, man. That's right.
I like that. You're getting a lot of shout outs in the live chat, Glenn. It looks like the audience is super pumped to see you.
Yeah, I really appreciate them. It's been a hard, about a month, 2 months or so, and the community's where it's at. We've been doing this for a while. You guys are doing this for a while, and there's good parts to the community. There's bad parts, but when the good parts come in, they're solid, and I really appreciate them. Between everything else that they're doing.
All right, guys. So next week, Michael B is going to be prepared for you because he apparently wasn't prepared this week. Remember I asked you to buy a little something?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
All right. So, but next week, guys, get ready because it's going to happen next week. 1-900 Genie Rumors, a new segment on the Super GameRoom Dudes, will kick off next week. You don't want to miss it. Mike, tell them what the 1-900 Genie Rumors segment is going to be all about.
Latest rumor is one particular AtGames executive has been sleeping around with men at gas station bathrooms. We'll have more about it next week on 1-900 Genie Rumors. Please make sure to ask your parents' permission before calling.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. All right. What do you guys want to talk about first? You guys pick. We got all these companies and things to talk about.
Can we talk about Cocaine Bears?
Yes.
There's this new movie coming out.
Yes.
That looks ridiculous. Come on.
Looks incredible.
It's going to win an Oscar for the greatest movie ever.
It looks incredible. All right. No, seriously. Mike, pick something. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go with movie chatter. Let's start it off there because there's a lot of cool stuff coming out. And we just got through the Super Bowl and, great football game. But even more exciting was all the different movie trailers we got to see. We got some highlights and looks at stuff coming out that absolutely blew my mind. There's one movie particularly I want to talk about, but I'll leave it up to you guys to decide where we start with.
I say we talk about the Flash trailer real quick because that's, I am a huge Marvel fan. Never been a big fan of the DC stuff.
Well, they haven't given you anything recently to even like PDubs. There's been nothing.
And the DC movies have been a hot mess. They have been just a shit show. And James Gunn going over there and he's going to reboot and try and fix it. Okay, hopefully he can fix it. He did a great job with the Guardians of the Galaxy series, but either way. I still think this was cool. We can't really show the whole thing because we'll end up getting a copyright claim, but I'm just going to put this on the screen so everyone else can revel in the excitement. This is the Batman that I was introduced to growing up, and Michael Keaton still, in my opinion, one of the best, if not the best, TV film Batman. And seeing him coming back in the Flash as part of their whole multiverse storyline is really, really cool. What do you guys think about Michael Keaton in the suit? He didn't look that bad, did he? In the suit. They actually show him like drop kicking some guys, probably a stunt double, you know what I mean? But still,
he's up there, but it was a good surprise. It was a really good surprise.
Yep. I mean, watch this. Yep. And he says right here, I'm Batman. I can't play the audio and all that. We'll get a copyright claim.
I really hope at one point the two Flashes say to him, we can't do that. It's crazy. And he just smashes something and says, you want to get nuts? Yeah. Let's get nuts.
Yeah. And it's so funny too, because how tall is Michael Keaton in real life? He's a short man. He's 5'8" or 5'9" or something. Like, he's not that tall. Well, I think he's the shortest Batman, right?
He's not Detroit Love short.
No. I'm just kind of happy
Carl really that short?
Carl's like 5'4".
Shut up. No way.
Yeah, Carl was originally Vern Troyer's stunt double.
Ah, that makes sense. Sorry, Glenn, go ahead.
I was just going to say that I'm just happy that kind of taken from the Flashpoint Paradox, storyline from DC's New 52, which was really good. And, Michael Keaton, for me as well, I think is probably one of the better Batmen here, but you can kind of see it even in that picture we had just a second ago of him standing with his face. He's just like, you know what? It's a paycheck, man. I got a paycheck. They're paying me big bucks.
Fan
I'm doing
service.
this. Yeah, totally.
Fan service. A lot of fan service with this cameo in this movie. Restalgia, you were probably in diapers when when he was Batman.
He didn't exist yet.
This came out in '89, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what month it came out, but I may not have even been born.
Oh, so you were sperm when this movie guy was Batman.
I was born in August of '89. So depending on when this actually came out,
This I think came out in the summertime.
Thanks,
So
PDubs.
you were still you were still gestating like an alien.
I was just swimming around.
You know why this is important? Because the day Restalgia was conceived is the day Michael Keaton was Batman.
That's okay. No,
parents probably went to the theater, watched this, and then your dad porked your mom and said, "I'm Batman," the minute you were conceived.
I'm giving you the bat, man. I'm giving you the bat.
But the movie looked cool. What I did like is apparently from what little I've been reading up on it is, as you guys know, a lot of this movie was shot as part of the existing DC universe, and James Gunn came in and they did a bunch of changes to be able to still release this movie, but use this movie to reset the multiverse or the universe and start over from scratch. So they're going to use this movie. This is technically going to be the first movie in the new DC universe. And man, they've canceled Aquaman, the next Wonder Woman movie, Superman, Henry Cavill. They're all gone, guys.
They can't actually cancel the Aquaman. They canceled the Aquaman one. They canceled Aquaman.
Yeah. The next one, it's all done, man.
Okay,
it's over. So they're starting. They're going to be starting from scratch. Probably all new actors, everything, a whole new universe.
What's really, really sad? It's taken a long time and a lot of bumps in the road with the DC universe, but I'm finally at a point where I'm excited and nostalgic for it. We're seeing all these cool things like Zod coming back, this alternate reality where Superman doesn't exist. We're seeing Batman, Ben Affleck as Batman, which is cool. And of course, Michael Keaton, the best Batman, as Restalgia knows. So there's all these cool things happening. And I'm finally getting really excited for the DC universe that was set up. It's finally coming together. The stigma of Martha is finally gone, and we're getting good shit. And they're dumping everything now. Finally when it comes together, and I'm excited. I'm hyped about a movie, and I was hyped at the end of Black Adam. Finally, it works, and they're throwing it all in the trash.
They begged Cavill to come back. Yeah.
The animated DC was fantastic. It really was. If they just took, if they took half of the animated ones and made this in the films, they would have been printing money. But I agree, it's been horrible right now. So hopefully they can fix it.
I love James Gunn. I love what he did with Guardians. I enjoyed his Suicide Squad movie. I think he's a real big comic book fan. But I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous about what he's gonna do. Just hearing some of his concepts and his ideas. I don't want to see Superman as young Superman. I mean, I already seen Smallville. I'm good. I just want to see Superman do Superman shit. And
didn't they say Superman Legacy was not going to be a young Superman?
No, it was no.
I was just reading about that, and they said they're not doing a young Superman, unless maybe I misunderstood. I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just read a transcript of his commercial thing. I didn't actually watch it, so. But
well, Garage Gamer brings up a really good point here. How many times can you reboot a fruit franchise? I mean, it feels like this has been rebooted 6 times in 7 years.
Yeah. Well, so for instance, the best example of this would be the Spider-Man franchise. They had the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, then they rebooted, started over. What is his name? Andrew Garfield. Had to do the whole, he's a kid in college, uncle dies, gets bit by the spider, right? And of course, when they announced that, Sony worked out a deal to bring in the character into the Marvel universe and that they were going to make a bunch of Spider-Man movies, a lot of people were like, are they really going to start from scratch again? Do we really need to see the spider bite Peter Parker's hand? And they didn't do it. They just jumped right in. He was Spider-Man. And I'm telling you, you don't need to do another damn origin story. You don't need to do year 2 Batman. You don't need to do year 2 Superman, year 1, year 0. People know. And just get right into it. You know what I mean? Like, especially the characters where their origin stories have been done time and time again. I'm tired of origin stories. But just get right to it. We all know who Batman is. Let's just do it. Jump in.
Here's the wacky thing. Like, you think of all the characters that made an impact on you in the original, like, call it Snyderverse, DC universe. The only real one they're sticking with from the original build is Amanda Waller, the character from How You Get Away with Murder is Amanda Waller. And I don't like that character. I've never liked it. So I'm just
You don't like the character or the actress?
Combination of both. Like, I don't find it.
Well, she was good in Justice League. Again, the animated.
Yeah.
She was a good character.
I don't like her portrayal of the character. It might due to the fact that my wife forced me to watch episodes of How to Get Away with Murder. I'm just going to be honest.
Funny. You're funny. And then, of course, Ant-Man Quantumania is out now. We should probably not talk about it too much because it's just hitting the theaters now. Some people saw it a couple days ago. People are going to see it tonight, this weekend. I don't want anyone in the live chat to reveal any spoilers for anybody. But from what I've heard, no spoilers. From what I've heard, it's incredible. So can't wait to see that. Especially because the Eternals was a snooze fest.
Yep.
And Wakanda Forever was just so depressing. It was a snooze fest. It was boring. Like,
Black Widow wasn't much better, to be honest.
We were talking about this offline. Like, I finally saw Wakanda Forever, and sure enough, you go in sad because of what happened to Chadwick, and the whole first 30 minutes of the movie is so depressing. With his funeral and stuff, and it's like, just don't go into that movie having a good time. You know what I mean? And you don't come out of that movie feeling really good about it. So Wakanda Forever to me was not that great, but I'm looking forward to just getting back to the action, comedy, humor, fun. That's what I want to see. Ant-Man. Let's go see it this weekend.
With Wakanda Forever, there was one highlight. It was Namor as the villain. And Namor as the villain, Namor ended up being a very, very cool character. I don't know about his little shorts. I don't know what the deal is with that, but everything else about Namor was great.
Just makes you a little uncomfortable, Mike.
Yeah, I just don't know where you're going to wear those shorts.
That's right. That's fair.
360, we got a $5 super chat here. Arcade1Up admins admitted to silencing the public if they post criticism that hurts their image, right, Glenn? He's asking Glenn. Glenn is not an Arcade1Up admin, Glenn, but what do you have any response to this? I mean, he did pay $5.
Yeah, this was something that kind of happened today. I mean, the drama seems to follow. So on the official Arcade1Up fan page, which I am no longer, I'm now the original Arcade1Up fan page. So apparently what I'm hearing is that Arcade1Up is having zero tolerance for anything that is anything not positive on their page. So much for being transparent and listening to the community. So then the people went to my page, posting these comments about Arcade1Up banning and blocking, even just general questions. Mm-hmm. So then it became an issue on my page. And long story short, one of the admins on my page was also an admin on that page. I don't want to announce any names, but I talked to him. I said, listen, it's kind of a conflict of interest. If you're on the official page of my page, there's going to be problems between the two, because you may on your page say Arcade1Up doesn't want this because it's not all roses. And they come to my page and you try and block them then on my page. And I can't have that. On my page, all my pages, as long as you're not threatening somebody, as long as you're not cursing someone out, your opinion is allowed. So unfortunately, today's been a heck of a day. So I do know about it. I will say that the original Arcade1Up fan page you're free to make your comments as long as it's, again, common sense, respectful. Don't attack people. Yeah. Don't curse. Don't just say it's crap.
Unless it's Mike.
Not right.
Unless it's Mike, you can make fun of him all you want.
That's right.
He's fair game.
But it's it's sad to me that the official page that's talking about transparency and listening to the community is now completely stifling that.
Yeah. So, Glenn, first off, I have to say, do you find it awkward having to boot Restalgia from the fan page as an admin, and now you're doing a stream with them tonight? Like that must be a little bit weird.
Well, the problem was that the page is for Homo sapiens, not for chimpanzees.
Mhm.
So it's actually okay. It's in the bylaws of the page, so it's okay.
Oh, good. I was not expecting that from you tonight.
Wow.
I will say it's something that has always been a sore spot for me when companies try to control the narrative through social media, especially on a fan page. A fan page isn't I personally believe that a fan page is not an extension of your business, and people are free to say whatever they want on the fan page. You can't control that. You have your own official pages, and you can let people comment on that. And I don't mean official fan pages. I mean official pages. That's where you delete stuff if you don't want people to see. But on the fan pages, as long as nothing is out there that's massively offensive, massively hurtful to somebody, constructive criticism, even if it does get a bit heated, should be fair game and should allow to be there.
Right, and that's that's what's bothered me the most after this whole situation for me. This whole time was the whole point of starting this. I mean, PDubs knows he's been pretty much at the beginning, and you too, Mike, Restalgia, you guys have been around too. But the whole point of me doing any of this was to make a bridge for the community and the fans to have a forum to talk back and forth, good and bad. I mean, the community, the companies. I would have thought, because I have products myself. If something's not right, I want to know about it and fix it. If it's a valid complaint. But to actively stifle people for something that actually had really nothing bad to say, it was just a comment of, A, B, and C. That's pretty sad in my opinion. And I don't want that for my pages. As long as you're respectful and you're a human, it's okay.
You're killing it, man. You're killing it. Yeah, I mean, I remember. So I've been doing this YouTube for 3 years, and the first year and a half, when I started my YouTube channel, and after I became friends with like Glenn, and I met Glenn, and Glenn and I became friends. Like I started to be an admin moderator on all these Facebook groups. Right, it was a great way to stay connected to the community, the audience I was targeting, as well as to cover the companies because they're relevant to the content on my channel. But Glenn knows about over a year and a half ago, I gave that up. I was like, I'm not moderating any more Facebook.
It's not easy.
Except for the Super GameRoom Dudes, because of multiple reasons. Number one, all the crying, screaming and crying, all the fighting, and people always report and post. I'm trying to do my day job. My phone goes off. Someone's complaining. Someone called me a bitch. Meh, meh, meh. You know what I mean? Like it's like running a daycare. Running a Facebook group is like running a daycare. And then on top of that, what some people are saying in the live chat, as well as Glenn, not just Arcade1Up, guys. Let's be fair. Many of these companies who I moderated pages for they would send requests like, you know what, we really don't like that post. We really don't like that post. And eventually I was like, I'm done. And a year and a half ago, I gave it up. I was like, I'm not moderating any more pages. And I just sit back and watch the fireworks and eat the popcorn.
I've actually lost a lot of friends over that, because they're friends. They become moderators, and then they can't take it. They're like, they throw their hands up and they're gone. But in all fairness, I have a lot of pages that I do, and one company was just more so to the point where I couldn't deal with them anymore, and that's why I gave up that official status. If you notice, I have other companies that are still official, and there's a reason. Yeah. There's a different mindset with the organization, and I don't want to trash anything. I mean, I'm kind of done with it all, but just when a company says they want to be transparent and with the community, their actions always speak louder than words. And remember that, people. Someone can say they're your friend. Actions speak louder than words. You can tell when someone is being honest and truthful and when they're not. Don't just say, oh, it's okay. Instinctively, as a human being, not a simian, these keys.
Right. Let's kind of we'll come back. We'll come back to the Arcade1Up stuff here, because we do want to touch a little bit on that Arcade1 update show. So let's kind of start burning through some of this stuff. Some of this stuff is going to go by pretty quickly. So for instance, hold on. I wish we could get back. I don't know what that said. Mike, you took it off the screen on me, but we did.
I didn't touch it.
There it is for you,
Yeah.
PDubs.
I wish we could get back to the tensile strength of horsehair plaster and its ability to handle all. What?
Come on, PDubs.
All right. I'm
Do you
just,
not understand that?
I'm not touching that one. $2 from Galga Guy. Come on, man. Put it back on the screen. $2 from Galga
Stop
Guy.
touching stuff.
Official fan page.
I'm literally
equals
drinking
the
water.
1UP Echo Chamber. 1UP Echo Chamber. There we go. All right. Let's get this off the screen. Okay. So
PDubs, just so I can help you out a little bit, the tensile
I want to
strength.
get the show moving. We got to get to
I
the
know.
gaming news.
I gotta
know what
help
I
you out
mean?
on this one because I'm
You
surprised.
know, we talked
about
movies.
the picture you
We
posted.
griped about Facebook groups suck. We talked movies. Facebook groups suck.
There's
But in
one
the
last thing
meantime-
about the movies we got to talk about. Dear
Wait,
God.
hold on. But before we go, to put a pin in how bad Facebook groups are, do us a favor, guys. There's a link in the video. Join the Super GameRoom Dudes Facebook group where you can participate in our Game of the Week challenges. Don't forget
Donkey
to join
Kong.
our Facebook. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later too. All right, what about movies, real quick, Mike? It's 30 minutes.
One
in.
last
We gotta
thing.
go. We gotta go.
People love movies. We could talk about Cocaine Bear for 4 hours and keep every single viewer, believe me. So, anyways, real quickly, there is one really cool thing. 1989 was a bad year for a lot of us. Restalgia was born, but outside of that, it was probably one of the greatest years for movies ever because you could go to the theaters and choose between: am I going to go see Batman '89 or am I going to see Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade? And how friggin' amazing is it that in 2023 you can go to a theater and see Michael Keaton as Batman and Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones in the Dial of Destiny yet again. So
That's
cool
true.
that we get that experience back.
That's true. That's true. All right, let's pivot over. This shouldn't take too long. So so iArcade released a new game today in their game store. This is something, and I'm glad I'm so glad you called in because Coleco is something you're an expert in. This is
Love
this is
Coleco.
this is stuff that I really don't really enjoy playing. So I wasn't thrilled with this release today. But Glenn, what can you tell us about Princess Quest or them putting Coleco titles on the iArcade? What are your thoughts on all this?
Well, again, you guys know me. I like the older stuff, so ColecoVision is one of my favorite consoles. So for me personally, it's enjoyable. But me, I'm also about the controllers. ColecoVision had a numeric keypad, and it's a little bit of a different control thing. But with that being said, the iArcade is touted as being one of the more powerful machines out there, and this is definitely not pushing the limits of the system. So again, it's a fun game. It's definitely a fun platformer. It's a very fun game, but the iArcade has so much more potential. I like to see them going more down that road. I mean, they originally was touting this machine. You're looking at more like PC conversions of games, which would be nice. For me, it's a fun game. Like Saturn, I love that game. Wizard of Walls, love that game. I can't play it enough. The Donut Dodo, love that game. But the machine really is. We should see a little more games that can really show the performance available on, especially now with AtGames now going to be offering a new processor. They got to step up their game because they owned this high-end processor market, and it's going to be whittled away relatively soon.
So, Glenn, when you see iArcade release a game like this, do you think of the old Wendy's commercial where the lady picks up the phone and goes,
"Where's the beef?"
Yeah,
Of course
exactly.
I do.
Because, I would also like to know how iArcade select the games that they put on their console. Is it just like a random dartboard and they're like, well, we can get that one? Or is there some kind of focus group, some kind of feedback surveys they're doing on what their users would be interested in?
You're all about focus groups right now.
I am. I'm all about market research. But here's the thing. I see them post this game today, and I'm sure that some people will find it fun. Like for me, whenever I hear about an arcade company putting a console game on an arcade, I'm like, I'd rather play it on an arcade. I mean, these arcades to me are about nostalgia, and if I want to play something like that, I would much rather play that game on a Coleco Mini than I would on an arcade cabinet. So I don't know. I see people in the community groan when they put these games on there. So what gave them the concept or idea this would be a good choice for them? Where are they getting this feedback? Sure, they're getting information. People want classic arcade games. I see that openly, but I've never seen a big, uproar from the community in the iArcade community where people are like, what we need? ColecoVision.
Yeah. Here, let me so here's what happened for me. So I got to actually count this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on, guys. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So in the last 10 weeks, they were on a little bit of a roll here, where out of the last 10 weeks, 9 of the games. Now, keep in mind, guys, I know we all have our own personal opinions. Some of you out there hate some of these games. Just in my own personal opinion, I thought they were on a roll where we've got some pretty decent stuff. So if you look at the last 9 weeks, you had Moon Patrol, Ninja Spirit, R-Type Leo, Vigilante. Those are all fun arcade games. And then they went into a little batch of kind of like a modern retro mix. Galaxy Champions TV, Habroxia 2, Wizard of Walls. Then we got Ninja Baseball Batman. And then we got Citrine or Saturn or however you pronounce it, right? So it's like 9 good games, at least in my opinion, because those are all games that I enjoy.
Yep.
And then we get Princess Quest. So I guess the streak was meant to be broken at some point.
Well, they had to get one game for Michael B. Michael B likes the princesses. They had to get a game for him.
Yeah. I mean,
I deal with a princess every Friday night, Glenn. I don't need any more.
Yeah. So I just put the list in the live chat, guys. Those were the 10 games released in the last, 10 weeks. And there's a fair amount of good ones. Even if you don't like all of them, like I like 9 of the 10, like there's probably a few in there you like pretty decent stuff. But let me ask you this, guys. I want your feedback in the live chat. Do you guys want ColecoVision games on arcade machines? Let us know in the live chat. Glenn, what do you think about ColecoVision games being played on arcade machines?
Let's be fair.
About that?
Let's be fair.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the AtGames Legends Ultimate, they have Atari games, they have ColecoVision games. They've had it on there since day one. They're included. I mean, they were free. They were given with the system. They're fun games. But there's a valid point to say, should home game consoles be on an arcade machine? So that's the first question to be asked. The second one, again, to be asked is, the iiRcade has got a lot of powerful hardware. I like the retro games. I like playing them. But the ColecoVision is really not like the best game to have on an arcade machine. It had a numeric keypad, the telephone, type of keypad. So you have to kind of work around that. So again, for me, I'm thinking it might also just be just license costs. I'm sure the Coleco games are very inexpensive and easy to get licensing for, which means they get a bigger product catalog to offer people at least something. So that's a plus. But ultimately, I would really like to see iiRcade to really step up and show some performance games to really showcase the hardware that they have.
That's actually a funny story, because that's very much how I got my wife. We were the last 2 people in the bar, and I said, hey, at least I'm something.
And she was drunk. So it was a double hit.
But
yeah.
So there's doing this like they've done it, and then there's doing it right. Like Montezuma's Revenge is a great example of...
After Taco Bell happens every time.
It's a great example of how you take one of these retro platforming games, console games, and then they put the spin on it of having the modern version as well, which is just so dope. Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap is another great example, even though that was a console game. The fact that you can switch back and forth between a modern version of it, which is so cool to play on the iiRcade, and the original version, that's the kind of shit I want to see. If you want to put like old ass console games on there, do it with a twist. Like if there's some kind of version that also has a modern upscaled graphical version that might be more enjoyable to play, sure, throw it on there.
That's a great point, actually. That's a really good idea.
I hear you, man. All right, so that's what's going on with iiRcade. We'll have to see how things progress in the coming weeks. Glenn, speaking of iiRcade, when is your control panel coming out? And
actually, where's my headset? I had it on before. Oh, here we go. So
anything
see if we can bring it up here. So actually, I have some good news about it. So let me see if I can pull this up here.
All right.
And
are you going to share your screen?
I'm going to try. Can I? I have no idea. This is your show. I don't know.
Well, if you click on share your screen, I'll be able to pull up your screen.
Like this thing. Actually, my stupid thing broke here anyway. Remember, I'm the old man. I'm the old guy. So I'll just talk about it. Go back the other way. So basically, I was having some issues with the rotary controller in a couple of games, like the Akari Warriors. The spinner was not working as it was supposed to. It was missing part of the rotation as you went around. So I posted to MameDev. I got a couple of contacts, and I spoke to some guys in MameDev. And it turns out that there was actually, I guess in the ROM and in the emulator, some code in there to verify the controller to make sure we're using an original Tato controller. And if it wasn't, it was actually purposely muffing your spin. So my team, we kind of went back to the drawing board a little bit, and I got a message from them yesterday that we got it solved. So we were playing the games, or they were playing the games with the new prototype. I have the pre-production. They have the pre-production stick over there. And on mine, it plays great with a lot of games with Arcade Warriors. It was actually frustrating. I was actually annoyed playing it. So I told my team, this is a problem because I'm not releasing this. This is not acceptable. This can't go out. So they did something on the back end. They wrote some extra code into the firmware. And so far, it's been working flawlessly on their side. So I'm expecting them to ship me out that. So I'm hoping by summer. That's my goal to get this joystick out. Now, just so you guys know, I'm announcing it officially here on your channel. You guys are going to hear it first. Okay.
All right.
My controllers have new official names. There is no more a GRS Star Wars yoke. It is now the GRS game controller that worked in a movie from 1977 that played with space games. I have the stick that works in a movie from 82 that was kind of like a video game you went in. So these are new official names coming out. This will be the GRS turn thing for a guy that threw grenades with one hand. So these are the new official names for my product. So we're totally safe and not being worried about anyone toes being stepped on going forward. It's official.
Why didn't you just call the flight yoke the Blue Harvest flight yoke?
All right, we got some.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. You know, Michael, right? I got to talk to you. Yeah. We got to talk offline.
All right, we gotta catch up on some chat stuff here. So we got $2 from Zero Cool. Thanks for inviting Glenn on. He's so entertaining. 8-Bit Brian, always bringing the funnies in our live chat. Glenn is the old man as he gets up for his third pee break in the last 20 minutes. Hey guys, Wagner's Tech Talk is here. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel and his website. He'll teach you how to do anything, including how to braid Restalgia's hair. That's right. The tutorial is going to be released tomorrow with photos included. How to braid Restalgia's hair. Ooh. And here's your boy Tyler. $10 dropping the big money.
Thank you, Tyler.
Like gun info, please. Love you guys. Game Genie, get the info and deets for me, please, man. Oh my God, please. Any news about light guns?
I feel a disturbance in the force, Tyler. I feel a disturbance in the force that iiRcade are saying big news next week, and there's a disturbance in the force. So maybe next week is our week, brother.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Okay, there you go. All right, let's get off iiRcade and let's pivot over, guys. I want to talk a little bit about Pinball FX. Michael B here, our resident game genie, has been pumping out a lot of YouTube content lately. Michael B's pumping out more content. I'm pumping out less. You know how Mike and me, we go in waves. Like all of a sudden I start making a lot of videos. Mike slows down. Like, I don't know what it is about us, man. And then like you'll make a ton of videos and then I slow down. Maybe it's
your cycles aren't in sync. You're not hanging around each other enough.
We really need to get our cycles in sync, Mike. You know what I mean?
You got to come stay with me for a while.
How's your uterus?
Periods at the same time.
How's your uterus? But Michael B did a great stream, and he showed off Addams Family Pinball FX. Mike, take it away. Tell us about your experience. What console were you playing on, and what was it like, and all this? Now that Pinball FX is available on Xbox, PlayStation.
So now that it's available on Xbox and PlayStation, I decided to celebrate by playing it on the Epic Game Store on my PC.
Is that what you did? Is that what you did? You didn't even show it on console?
No, because I'm not going to get it on console. I just bought it on my I already had it, right? So I played it on PC, and I will tell you, I've played the Addams Family real pinball table a lot, and I can routinely score 100 million on the real table, but I was having and I'm still having so much trouble with the digital version. I don't know what it is. It like the ball moves so friggin' fast. Like, it's unreal. Like, it's fun. It's awesome. The game sounds fantastic. I mean, PDubs, you've played this new Unreal Engine Pinball FX version. You know how good it looks on the PC, especially if you have like a 4K screen like I do. But man, does it play fast, this game. Really fast.
So Apex said her console has lag. Yes, it does. But if you were following the news today, Pinball FX actually released an update or a couple hours ago, actually, fixing the input lag on consoles. So whatever console you're playing on, you might have a patch update, and it did make it better. It did make it better, but that's kind of what I want to talk about. Remember how I said I had my own thoughts about this? So one thing about this Pinball FX that was driving me nuts on the Epic Game Store is you're in their menu system, and you can buy the games right from the application, right? You're in the store on the Epic Game Store. You pay the money, or on the Epic Game Store, it was tickets, right? You had to pay, you buy tickets, pay the tickets, and it says, you want to download the game? You say yes, it's supposed to download the game. And then it sends you back to your list of tables, right? And the game that you just paid for wouldn't be there. You would actually have to exit Epic, restart Epic, and then the game would show up, that the games that you just purchased, right? So I figured maybe it was just an Epic Game Store thing. But earlier today, my dudes, here, let me get this off the screen. Earlier today, I decided to download Pinball FX on my PlayStation 5, which I have right here next to me. And I decided, okay, I'm going to buy a table, see what happens. I bought Garfield, right? I bought the Garfield table on the store. It's only like $4. And sure enough, same thing happened. Like you buy the table, and it tells you the table's downloaded, but you don't have access to the table. You have to close down the whole game, relaunch the whole game to get it up and running. Why is that? Why is that? There are so many video games out there where I buy DLC and I don't have to like reboot the entire game to get the DLC out there. Like, it drives me nuts. I know it's a small thing, first world problems, but it's a pain in the ass. Restalgia could probably explain this. He's been sitting there quiet, eating bananas this whole show. Tell me.
Well, it depends on the game and how it was developed. If the game has the content built into it, and then just by paying for the game or paying for the DLC, it unlocks it. That's like typically when, right? Yeah, it just like unlocks that feature, and you don't need to reboot. Other games require you to pay for it, and then you're actively downloading the content to your machine, and then that might be why you have to do a power cycle. Or
it's a pain in the ass.
It sure is, but I mean, however, I don't know. Depends on the developer.
However, on the PlayStation 5, because it asks you, do you want Pinball FX, PS4, PS5? Of course, I downloaded the PS5 version. Dudes, it looked fantastic on my and I have a pretty nice monitor here with a great refresh rate right here on my left. It looked fantastic. I was quite surprised at how good it looked on there. And yeah, when I did play it, there was some flipper lag. And then they fixed it later in the day. It was better. It's still not perfect, but it was better.
So I think a lot of this plays into the whole ticketing system, and they've had problems since day one. I was lucky enough that Pinball FX actually reached out to me and offered me like a demo version of Pinball FX. At first, they were like, "Yeah, we're going to give you the access, whatever it was called. What's their Pinball access program that they have? Pinball Pass." So they were like, "We're going to give you a year subscription, Pinball Pass." And they said, "No, actually what we're going to do is we're going to give you like 100 tickets." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I went in and I bought a bunch of games, and I immediately had a glitch that said the games weren't purchased. There was a problem with my purchase. So I tried to repurchase them again and again. Then I had to close it and go back in, and they all worked. But I lost all my tickets. I was like, I'm sorry for being difficult here, but you know how you gave me all those tickets?
But minus the difficulty of the game, the Addams Family was a good experience, Mike. Because I didn't try that one yet. I only tried Garfield. That's the only one I tried.
It looks great, but man, I don't understand. Like, Restalgia was standing right next to me. He's watched me get 100 million in Addams Family, but like I'm struggling to get like above 20 here. Like, I don't get it.
That's interesting because I recall you could barely get over 10 million.
Oh, you piece of shit! Why would you do that? Watch me get like 160 million.
Was Mike adding zeros?
He was adding multiple zeros. I don't even think he broke 1 million.
Yeah. All right. We got a $5 super chat here from Jim Pacers fan. Thank you for the content and the show. What is your favorite VPN game? MG, yes, I'm a huge Pacers fan. Thanks for the super chat. So for me, I have a few favorite VPN games. I actually really enjoy the VPN version. Well, I'm sorry. When it comes to FX3, I really like the Family Guy table. I think it's probably my go-to FX3 table. Like, I can't get enough of that table. I play that table all the time. That table is so simplistic. It's just a bunch of ramps. I mean, literally 2 flippers and like 12 ramps. And the whole scoring method of the game is you go up a ramp, like, a certain number of times. It lights up the letters of their names. Like, yeah, Lois, you have to go up the ramp 4 times and it unlocks something, right? But it's such a funny, humorous, great music game, great sound effects. I really like the Family Guy table on FX3. And when it comes to and then when it comes to their new FX, my favorite so far is the World Cup soccer game, which we've talked about before. The World Cup soccer game that they just released a couple months ago, I think is fantastic. Zen did a great job, and I actually prefer to play the Zen version over the VPX version. Even though there's a VPX version out there, I enjoy the Zen version more. I really like it. I really like the Zen version. I'm sorry, trust me. There's tons of VPX. Probably the He-Man game. The He-Man game's a ton of fun on VPX. But
I heard that. I heard that Stranger Things table is really good too by the guy who did Pizza Time and what's the Leprechaun game?
Leprechaun King.
Leprechaun King. So that guy, Scotty Wick, his Stranger Things table is apparently really good. So I was just laughing at that. Like, you can't say that. Like, the VPX purists are going to come to your house and lynch you, PDubs. Like, you got to watch out.
Oh, they can. I don't give a shit. It's my opinion. You can't handle my opinion. Go watch another YouTube channel.
Can you tell them what runs your house?
Oh, stop it. All right. What else? Oh yeah, Glenn, virtual pinball games. Any favorites?
I like the older ones. I still like the Haunted Mansion, Black Hole.
I love Black Hole.
I'm not talking about pinball. I'm not talking about behind the back of.
whoa! Calm down. Calm down.
But I have been playing the Legends Micro pinball, and I've been playing the Dr. Seuss ones. They're actually funner than I thought. I'm really enjoying the Space Invaders one as well.
Oh my god!
It's the first time playing it, but the Dr. Seuss ones and the Dino Pack as well. I've really been enjoying that one as well.
Natural history.
Yep, and I'm impressed also well with the frame rate. I mean, they were saying 60 frames a second. I got the small, maybe the 15-inch main play field makes it look even sharper, but it plays really, really nice. So this weekend I'm going to be doing a couple more videos on that, just playing it, because I think it's pretty good. There's a tiny little bit of lag. There's a couple tables I noticed a little bit more of that lag, but I'm enjoying it.
They're probably the tables Restalgia worked on.
That was the jungle ones.
Yeah,
I didn't play too much of those.
So Restalgia, what about you? What's your favorite V-pin table?
Interestingly enough, you brought up Scotty Wick. He has a really fun Harry Potter Goblet of Fire V-pin table, and it's just seriously, it's really good.
That's not your favorite.
What's my favorite? My Little Pony. I'm so into the My Little Pony.
This is Restalgia's favorite pinball game. He plays it every night before he goes to bed, twice when he wakes up.
Look at all the colors. It just makes you smile. Look at that dancing and Princess Twilight Sparkle.
Whenever the wife tells him, that he, not tonight, Restalgia, I got a headache, and he has to do a stander-upper in the garage, he comes back inside, and he plays with My Little Pony. Isn't that right, Restalgia?
You're damn right it is.
Restalgia, I need you to film some kind of video where you play this quickly and then turn around and say, "Pleasant dreams, everybody."
Oh, I love it when Paul does this. Oh, hey, Restalgia's here tonight. Welcome, Restalgia. Paul's the best.
Paul loves Restalgia.
Yeah. All right. So that's what's going on in the world of Pinball FX, guys. Go check it out on consoles and have fun.
I know I talk a lot, but can I have a turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
I really like the Back to the Future. Believe it or not, the Back to the Future Pinball FX3 table. It's on the new Pinball FX as well, but love Back to the Future. If I'm turning on Pinball FX and I'm going to play something that's not a real table, it's usually Back to the Future is the one I'm playing.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, the Walking Dead table by Zen Studios is actually pretty good too.
There's a Walking Dead Zen table?
I think so.
No. World War Z, you might be thinking.
No, I'm
there's
pretty
a Walking Dead.
There's a Walking Dead
FX3.
Oh, that's right. It's not really the Walking Dead. It's
Telltale.
Yeah,
right?
Telltale games.
It's the Telltale Walking Dead. Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, so let's talk about that Arcade1 update show real quick. So I watched the stream, and I didn't make any kind of YouTube video about it. I was teasing Mike and I were teasing each other about this today. I'm trying to find my little comment here. about our takeaways. Where was the takeaways, Mike? Did I write it? Okay, here we go. So here were my takeaways from that stream. I texted this to Mike. We want to do pinball again, but cheaper. We're looking into doing a focus group. We might have an MVC2 update next month. And that David, and this was the most important part of the broadcast, David McIntosh. I don't know if you guys are paying attention. He kind of slipped it out there. But when he said this, he earned some brownie points with PDubs because he did say
Cubert.
he did say he likes Cubert more than Mortal Kombat 4. Sorry. So yeah. But that was it. Like my opinion, there wasn't much happening there. And Mike told me that there was 26 minutes worth of stuff there.
there was if you read between the lines, like it's fascinating that, I mean, of all the negative comments that's come out about their pinball machine, for them internally to think, hey man, I think we've got the best pinball table and we got the best license, which is true. I mean, Zen's the premier pinball developer when it comes to the virtual space. I mean, that's true, and the machine is good. Like, it's built solidly, it's got a good structure, good height. But the fact that the things that make it good, like the DMD, which is not the correct DMD anyways, but the DMD, the solenoids, all the things they talked about that are good, they're like, yeah, we're going to make some concessions so we can get it down to a price point that we find fair. So if they take out the DMD, what the hell am I buying? Why wouldn't I just turn a TV sideways and put it on the side? Like, so right. Picking apart what he said is interesting. It's news, right?
Well, no, that's the speculation part of it.
That's not speculation. He said it.
But you can speculate more and more and dive into all that. But when you look at just what was said, all he said was, we're looking into doing pinball. We're looking to do it cheaper. That's what he said.
He openly said, we're going to remove the DMD. We're going to take out the solenoids.
Yeah. Okay, so what does that sound like to you that they're going to be making then?
A shittier pinball table.
You know what it sounded like to me, especially when he said cheaper? It sounded to me like he was talking about possibly just doing a tabletop, if I had to speculate, like a tabletop bar top. Because you don't need a DMD. You could probably get away without having solenoids on it. There's so many like Sharpens and things out there, similar type products that's kind of where I think he was going.
It'd be better if they were doing something like that, make it modular, so you could buy. It'd be better for them too. Buy modules, buy additional parts of it, make it low cost, a stripped down version if they want to do that, but allow them to add modules on there.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a little sad here because one thing about the Arcade1Up pinball machines is that out of all the virtual pinball machines I've owned, they were the best looking and they were the perfect height. I've never once said, bending over and playing an Arcade1Up pinball machine. I'm serious. Restalgia.
You never bent over, PDubs?
I don't know if you really want to if that you groan normally when you bend over.
Yeah, every time PDubs bent over, he's always like, oh,
come on. So before I did the leg extensions and the bigger legs on my AtGames pinball machine, after about 20, 30 minutes, because it's a lower machine, lower to the ground, the lumbar would start hurting. We've talked about this before.
You just got to do some squats, buddy.
But now that it's raised up, I haven't had any issues. I can play for a good 30, 40 minutes and not even feel it. You know what I mean? And by then I'm bored and ready to move on to the next thing.
So is my wife.
Glad you can't feel it.
You know what, guys? I really don't know why I try anymore.
Can I bring up I got a screen I want to share really quickly. There was one comment that I thought was really distasteful during the 1UP update. Can I bring this up on screen?
Oh, come on, man. Is it going to cause some kind of drama? Is this something?
No, not at all.
It is. It's incredibly inappropriate.
If you can just, I don't know if I can make that larger.
I'll do it.
Oh!
Did you really write that? Did you do that? Is David seen anyone asking for a friend? P.S. It's Restalgia. Oh, that was great. The poor guy they're trying to do a show and win back, street cred, earn back some of their reputation, be transparent. And you go in there.
I don't know if they got
them.
that in that show. I don't know if they got that on that show.
Well, baby steps, Glenn, baby steps. But still, and then you go in trolling there, causing a ruckus. Might be. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? That's pretty funny. That was pretty funny. And Restalgia, any comment?
No, I'm still waiting for the answer.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything yet. So
yeah, that was pretty funny.
Although I have it from personal thing. I know David is already spoken for Restalgia. I'm sorry, buddy.
Listen, does he have a ring on the finger? Because if not, then there's still time, baby.
Yeah.
The hurt wants what the hurt wants, Glenn.
I don't know if David's into bestiality though.
He does look a little like a Backstreet Boy, doesn't he? He does look a little like a Backstreet Boy. It's pretty funny. Someone called him a boy band kid in the live chat. He does resemble him. Anyway, so what else is there to talk about with that one update show? Like,
no, I mean, for people that were looking for very specific answers, you didn't get it. I mean, I made a joke at the beginning. A lot of people wrote in comments to me, like I got voice messages and everything from people saying they didn't do anything. It was a show about nothing. Like basically there was a couple questions asked and they kind of danced around it. I mean, like I thought it was one of their better outings for their initiative that they're doing community engagement. Go ahead.
But is that a bad thing though? Think about it. We do live streams all the time. And when we have no specific material that we want to present to our audience and to our community, people who are interested in us and the content we put out there, we do these things called chill and chats. Usually they're broadcast on Mondays. It shows about just random, unprepared shows. You know what I'm talking about? No, I'm just teasing Mike. But no, in all seriousness, like we do, like sometimes we go live just to go live, just to connect with people.
Yeah.
Right. So if that's what their purpose was, I guess it was successful.
But that's not what they were pointing the show to be. The show was there to sit there and give out the answers and be transparent and ask the tough questions. And he's going to get the tough answers. And he's going to be a part of the community. And he's not going to be steamrolled. I didn't see any of that. I thought everything was kind of softballed, the questions that were being asked, and really nothing was really even answered.
It seemed very prepared. Like, hey, ask me these 6 questions and then let's call it a day. So yeah, it did seem very prepared. But what I'm trying to say is maybe if they knew they didn't have any like legitimate announce release info, make sure you name the show appropriately. Like just call it the Arcade1Up Update community chat. Like, hey, we just want to talk. At that point, nobody expects anything. You know what I mean? Everyone walks in saying, hey, whatever gets brought up organically. Right, it's not created by an interview.
I don't think so.
And then if they actually have official announcements to make, be like, hey, it's the Arcade1Up Update, and we're going to have a new cabinet release announcement. You know what I mean? Like that's how you title it, so people know what to expect. No. It seemed like they didn't. It just seemed it was okay. Like I got nothing bad against Travis, nothing bad against David. Like they had a decent little conversation. It was just kind of like just plain to me.
Well,
it was just
transparency. David McIntosh is a friend of mine to this day still. And so is Travis. So I'm putting that out there. They're both friends of mine. I have no hardship with either of them. But see, the show was pushed out to be more than I think that it was.
Yeah. What gets me excited, as everyone knows, is new products, new things happening. And it was kind of more just like, hey, guys, we're working on it, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm not defending any point of view here. I'm just going to tell you, what you're looking for is what you're going to get on that 1UP show. Arcade1 Update is just
isn't that the show?
No, that 1UP show is the show that
there's going to be 2 shows.
Yeah, there's 2 shows. So there's that 1UP show and then Arcade1 Update. So Arcade1 Update is going to be so you tune in and eventually, hopefully they friggin' get there. But there was some talk about this, and I didn't talk about it in my 26 minutes. I could have milked out another 4 or 5, but but they did talk about, and I know this is a thing that Arcade1Up is looking into now, going back to some older games and doing some updates. Like, hey, Pac-Man 40th anniversary fans, I don't think we're ever getting that Vaseline filter taken off, and Frogger fans. God rest you. The game is so good. But they said they're going to go back and fix a couple things like Terminator 2 and
did they actually say that?
Yeah, it was alluded to. So like that's the kind of stuff that's going to go on 1 update.
No.
They didn't say they were
Travis
going to fix Dragon's Lair. No,
They didn't say they were going to fix anything.
Yeah.
Travis asked the question. He goes to David. He said something along, and I'm paraphrasing. He says something along the lines of, "So David, the community would love to know if there's going to be, are you guys going to go back to Dragon's Lair, Terminator 2, other games, and do updates?" And David goes, "Yeah, I would love to talk about that. Let me give you an update on MVC2. We're working on it. It might come out in March. We'll let you know. We'll do another show in March." He didn't answer the question about T2. He didn't answer the question about anything else. He pivoted completely away from it. And I was a little disappointed by that. I wanted him to say, we're looking into patching Dragon's Lair and T2 because people deserve those patches with how much money they spent on those cabins. $700. They need a patch. Go ahead.
No, what you're saying is true completely. And I think they're going to do it. And I hope that's what this show is. I hope it's an opportunity for them to say, hey guys, we just did this update on Dragon's Lair and we fixed this, and this. I'm hoping this is what this show is going to merge into.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. So it was okay. Restalgia, what'd you think about all that Arcade1 update stuff? I didn't know there were going to be 2 shows. That's news to me. So I guess it kind of makes sense in the format of both shows. I didn't watch the whole thing. I thought this show was replacing the other show.
No. The other show, to my understanding, what they're doing for their community initiative, one is to absolutely do the wrong thing with Facebook to start. So they did that. And then after that, it's that 1UP show is going to be where they do their product announcements and stuff like that. Arcade1 Update is where they're going to do their updates to firmware and different things going on that way. And then they've also got the community challenge that they've started on TikTok. And that's their 4 community initiatives they're doing right now.
You know what, I got to say, you know what, your chat guys are as awesome as the ones I have on my channel. These guys, you're awesome. I'm just reading these comments here. You guys are gods. You guys are awesome. Hysterical.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
I'm sorry.
If you missed anything, you can watch Michael B's recap. It's a bit longer than the show, but you'll get the gist. Mike, I'm sorry, Mike. You were trolling. I thought you were trolling me today. You're like, I got a 26-minute video. I was like, okay, it's maybe 16 minutes because I know Mike might be 16 minutes.
I'm a little bit long-winded, yeah.
It was 26 minutes. It was great, especially the 4 commercials because I need YouTube Premium. So you're welcome. You're welcome. I need.
You only got 4 commercials. I said for much more than that.
No. 4 commercial breaks of like 2 commercials each. It's like 8 commercials. By the way, guys, if you ever need something that really, you know what they should do? They should use your video as an advertisement for YouTube Premium. If you want to watch all 26 minutes uninterrupted and avoid 8 commercials, watch this video. This video will make you want to buy YouTube Premium. Because I wanted to buy YouTube Premium after, that, you know what I mean? But you did a good job, Mike. It was good. All right. Anything else Arcade1Up related y'all want to talk about?
Zero. I mean, there's not really anything else going on right now. Bill of Ladings came out for their 3 deluxe cabs that are coming out at this time. Unfortunately, Miss Pac-Man isn't one. We're getting Class 81, Pac-Man, and Mortal Kombat 2. So expect to see them show up in storefronts everywhere except Canada relatively soon.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Okay. Oh, by the way, I liked at the end when he was talking about leaks and how he said sometimes leaks hurt them or help them. And I was like, you guys know me. I have this conspiracy theory. This is just me. Other YouTubers might tell you different, but and I'm not an insider, so I have no clue. But my opinion is that all this shit that ends up on Reddit, because it always starts there, right? They leak photos on Reddit, and then Reddit people start telling us, and then we make YouTube videos. We're all suckers for this. We're all thirsty for the information, right? I firmly believe it's them doing it. You know what I mean? Like that it's intentional shit. And I'm okay with that, but just say like we intentionally leak shit. You know what I mean? Like,
but then it's not as exciting.
Yeah, he's but then he said sometimes our leaks hurt us, and I wanted to scream at my monitor, "Stop leaking shit."
Well, no, he's talking about. So So I'll come in here and I'll just differentiate. So, like honestly, there's some leaks where I'm sure someone runs in David's office and goes, "Oh my God, someone just leaked all our press release or our information on Reddit," and David's like putting his Reddit down on his phone, being like, "Oh my God, did they really?" And those are the good leaks, getting the product out early that way, and it does help them. They explain that, like, might generate fan interest that can help them with retailers. But then there's the bad leak when lists come out, like the GameFly list last year and a couple of years ago. You think the GameFly list was intentional?
Absolutely. I think every leak has been intentional. The only leaks that have not been intentional have been the fake leaks that some people put out there just to tease people. Like, you guys remember the Virtua Fighter cabinet leak, right?
Yeah.
That was one guy messing around with Photoshop and he put it on Reddit, and sure enough, it made its way. It's like skipping stones on a pond. Doot, doot, doot. I fell for it. I saw it on Reddit. I got hyped because I would love for Arcade1Up to do a Virtua Fighter cabinet, right? I would love for it. I like Virtua Fighter. And I made a video about it, and I was like, "Oh, guys, check this out. Leaked photo. Virtua Fighter's coming." And I had egg on my face because it wasn't. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, the only ones that have been fake have been the ones that people create. I think
when I drink too much and I can't make it to the restroom.
Yeah.
I think I actually completely agree with PDubs on this. I think any and every leak we've seen, whether it's been like a company has decided, like Arcade1Up specifically has said, yes, let's leak it.
Thank you.
Versus an employee that's like, let's just push this out and see what happens. I believe everything starts from an Arcade1Up employee, and it comes out.
So
and 99% of it is planned.
So you think it's like a viral marketing campaign?
Yes.
In many cases, yeah. I think so.
But you know what's going to happen?
There's no bad press. There's never bad press that's not good for marketing.
Yeah.
But
you know what's going to kill the leaks? You know what's going to kill the leaks, right? Michael B's Arcade1Up focus group is going to end the leaks. They're not going to need to leak anything. They're not going to need to leak anything to get feedback. Like, think about it, guys. They leaked Time Crisis, and everyone told them that the front of the
looked shitty,
looked like ass, and now they're going back and they're fixing it, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to get leaks anymore. It's going to be Michael B's focus group is going to make.
They're not going to let me on that focus group. Why would they let me on the focus group? I'm an idiot that comes on here in YouTube and tells them all the information they need to know, anyways.
You are the focus group king.
I do want to be part of that focus group.
I want you to run the focus group.
I don't want to run the focus group
because then if you run, Mike, all right, everyone, earmuffs, especially anyone who works at Arcade1Up, earmuffs. Okay, guys. All you out there, stop. Mute your phones. Mute your televisions. You're not allowed to listen to this part. Mike, if you are on the focus group and if you run the focus group, all that early, advanced, secret information, you will then be able to tell it to me behind the scenes, and I will know everything that you know. And I will make videos about it because I don't give a shit. Okay, Mike. Okay, everyone, earmuffs off. You can come back. Nothing nefarious.
I gotta tell you, PDubs is like the Geraldo Riviera of like home arcade YouTube. Like, I was talking about one thing, and it was like, I need something for this, and can you help me out? And he's like, no, there's something new coming out, and I got an exclusive. And I was like, I just need help, man. Sorry, can't help you. I got an exclusive.
I did do that to you one time. And it was just one time, Michael. I've been friends with you 3 years. Now you sound like my wife, 15 years of marriage. She remembers that one time in July of 96 where I was an asshole. But, never mind the other 14 years and 11 months.
She caught you slipping, PDubs. That's it. Game over. One slip and you're done.
Well, back in 96, the summer of 96, bro. You know what I mean? Come on. They always hold it against you, man. They never forget. They never forget. Anyway.
No.
All right. So that's what's going on in the world of Arcade1Up. AtGames National Owners Day is coming out. And Restalgia, maybe you and I should leave because the two AtGames, the sponsors are here.
Yeah, we are.
I'm just kidding. Glenn, tell us, what are you doing for National Owners Day for everyone? I thought this was pretty cool.
Well, I was actually going to do a video of it tomorrow, but I'll tell you now. So there's a couple things. One, on the Thundersticks website, We're going to do.
Be careful when you
continue-
type that into the internet. Everyone.
Yes, you wanna be
Very
careful.
When you
but
type
actually,
it
No,
in.
both
don't be
thunder
careful.
sticks-
Don't be
Both
careful.
thunder
Be
sticks still
very
come to
loose.
me, so it's okay.
I advise you
But-
to type in Thundersticks space GRS. If you type in anything else, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Especially
But
if you're at work.
oh yeah, don't want to do it at work unless you work in the porn industry. Then actually, it's
Yeah.
probably okay.
No,
But-
all that comes up is neck massagers.
Hey,
That's
take a
what they're
look. We
for?
got the Thundersticks website right here, bro.
Right here. So we're going to continue the holiday 30. So 30% off everything on the site except for the GRS Buildicade. That's going to be just 20% off for that. Now there's been some confusion about this because I put the Amazon link on there as well as the T-Sticks website because there's people international that will actually save money using the Amazon link. The Buildicade is still a little bit more money. It's like $114 there. But with shipping, it actually works out to be a better deal. So we're going to have the sales on Amazon if you want to get it from there. But the cheapest prices for the products will be on the T-Stick site, especially with the Buildicade. It'll be $79 for the Buildicade, which is really, really good. The Star Wars yoke, I haven't even told you guys yet. We've made an enhancement. I haven't had a chance to make a video on that. So we made an enhancement to make that work better with the AtGames Legends. A lot of the games in coin ops, when using the yoke, you have to use the mouse mode. And when you're in the mouse mode, the triggers are mouse buttons left and right. So we've now made a firmware adjustment where that's now actually triggers. So it'll work better with those games. I've been testing it with the buy stuff stores, gaming box, as well as coin ops. So that's working a lot better for that. But again, we're just trying to do what we can. We're trying to get the price as low as we can for New Owners Day. I've been talking a lot with PK as well, so we're trying to work on some other things as well, which I can't go into yet. But I'm hoping that this year maybe there'll be some more AtGames news between myself and them. But for right now, if you want to get that 1977's movie with spaceships that fly around, that's on sale. If you want to get the 1982 movie with the gaming characters, that's on sale. The new official names from GRS and T-Sticks.
All right, so those are the new official names to avoid any kind
Official.
of
Copyright information. That's right.
issues.
Boom.
So
no
Glenn, I'm
pressure.
gonna ask you-
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. You go ahead, P-Dubs.
No, Mike, you go ahead. You go ahead. Mine
So-
was stupid. Yours was serious. Go ahead.
No, it was serious. So, Glenn, I'm going to ask you a question. So, AtGames a little while ago released this product that lets you put their firmware on one of their devices. Do you think there'll ever be a chance that you'll make your GRS Buildicade compatible with those? What are the name of the boards, Restalgia, that AtGames put out that for the Buildicade?
Legends
Connect
Connect.
boards, the Connect boards.
Legends
Legends
Connect.
Connect.
Yeah,
Connect
the Legends
boards?
Connect.
So all I will say is right now that I'm talking to PK.
Okay.
The
Okay.
Connect
I had a
is-
feeling might be what it is.
You know
the
what?
Connect is a little bit big to fit inside of that. No.
That's why I'm talking to PK.
Okay.
So it's something that's being investigated as well as some other products of that scale. But again, it's very early. We just started talking to PK about it. But he's excited. I'm excited. But I'm old. I get excited over little things.
Now, Glenn, I don't want you to worry. Just because there's always over 300 people watching this show live congruently at one time,
I have
It
that many
doesn't mean-
people on 300 of my shows. I have 300 people. I get the same amount.
guys, do me a favor in the live chat. Promise Glenn that what happens on the Super Game Room Dudes stays on Super Game Room Dudes. Information is not going to end up elsewhere on social media. None of those Facebook groups or Reddit threads, right?
Well, here's
Yeah, we
here's
don't
the
do
thing.
planned leaks. We
Here's the
definitely
thing.
don't do-
I am trying to be as open as possible. You guys know that. I don't mind. You ask me questions, I'll answer it as best I can. I've
All
never had a
All right.
problem with that whatsoever.
Tell me everything you're working on right now. Everything that's going to be released for every company, every product now. The live chat promises that they're not going to spill the beans, Glenn.
Well, you know what? I can take a couple of things. I can give you some iiRcade news if you want some of that. So a lot of you guys know about the control board that was shown back in that day that I couldn't go on that visit. So one of the I listened to the feedback. So one of the feedbacks was that the spinners and the joystick might be, in poor positions. They might not be in the best positions for it. That's number one. Number two, we were looking at two separate products. One to go for the legacy unit for Bluetooth, and one to go for the gold, which was just USB. So we've been doing a lot of testing in the background. So it's going to be one unit that'll be compatible with both. So it'll be one SKU, one device that'll work with the legacy with Bluetooth, but it'll also work with the gold, either Bluetooth or through the USB cable, however you want to connect it. But also the layout for the controls on that machine is going to stay the same, but I will tell you the joysticks will not be in the way. So for people playing with the spinners, the layout is staying exactly the same, but the joystick will not be in the way when you're playing spinner games.
Oh, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
So we cracked that nut, and right now we are just simply working with with iiRcade just to make sure that everything's optimized. But I think everyone will be ecstatic again. It'll be easier for everyone else. It's gets the cost down because it'll be one SKU versus making two separate products. You will have two joysticks. You will have two push-pull spinners. You will have the gate switchers on both, so you can lock into your gate modes. But you can play spinner games, whether you're left-handed or right-handed, but the joystick will not be in the way, even though the joysticks and everything's staying exactly the way it is. And it'll be very easy to play it. And we have mounting points for other features. There's no we're working on a steering wheel and pedal attachment. We've been working on that for a while. We're working on, like you guys know, the 8 and 12 rotation spinner stick for games that use spinner things that guys goes around for copyright being protected there. But we're also adding a 20-way. I didn't realize, I actually was told by a couple of friends of mine that there actually was a 8-way rotation, a 12-way, but there's also a 20-way. I didn't realize that. So we're adding that feature as well. What else? I think what's working on. I mean, the Build-A-Cade obviously is coming out.
Can I just interject for a second? I think that's great that you can go 8. I think, yeah, that's great that you can go 8 ways. Restalgia only goes both ways.
As soon as you started talking, man, as soon as you started talking, I knew it was coming. I knew it.
It's always, I feel bad for Restalgia. He gets picked on a lot around here. This is great news, Glenn. Thanks so much for sharing that little nugget of information.
And real quick with Kongs in here, I got to say to Kongs once again, he's my biggest 1977 gaming controller fan. And I'll get him one of those boards. I know he could try it out with the LEDs and stuff like that for his testing. But I'm really excited about that. And we still have other products still coming down the pipeline that I'm can't really talk about yet because I'm not sure how well it's going to work out. But if it works, it'd be nice to have, controllers for games that may, do something like this. That might be nice. That might be nice for some games.
Like if I wanted to deliver some papers?
Some papers, or, want to do some, 2-wheel driving. That might be kind of
What if I felt like chauffeuring people around and, and collecting money for my chauffeur services and painting my car yellow and black? Would that be?
That's also a possibility. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. All right. I smell what you're cooking, Glenn. You smell what you're cooking.
Actually, I just saw in the chat. I just thought about something. There's 4 of us, so we all go 2 ways.
Yeah.
There's your 8.
I don't even know why I try anymore. I really don't.
You should do what I do. Just show up.
Sometimes, have you ever been like, I see it and I just want to flush it?
I don't know why you have to look at it first. Just flush before you get up, man.
I always do.
You gotta see what you did. I mean, you've created
what
something.
What are we talking about right now?
No, because I have had phantom poops before, and it has scared the living bejesus out of me.
What's a phantom poop?
What does that even mean?
Invisible shits. You've never had a phantom poop before? All right, let me tell you what
God's name is a phantom poop.
All right, you ever you're on the toilet and you go boom, and you drop a bomb in the toilet, and you kind of try to admire your work. But because it already went down, it disappeared. It's a phantom poop because it's not there anymore. You're like, I know it's there, but where is it?
I learned something
really
new.
Happen?
I learned something new
invisible?
every week. Every week I learned something new. Phantom poops, stander uppers in the garage where I still don't know where the end result goes.
What's happening right now?
You've never had one before?
I've never even heard of that term.
Restalgia, you hang around so many bathrooms. How have you never heard that term before?
That's
Everyone's had it. You've
This is a
never
PDubs
taken a crap.
exclusive.
You turn around and you're like, where did it go?
Guys, you gotta stop! You're fucking killing me. Please, I'm gonna can't
You're like-
breathe as it is.
Like, wait a minute. All that work for nothing? All that work? I heard a splash. What happened? Where did it go? Where is it? What? That's what I'm talking about, Restalgia. That freaks me out, man. Holy cow. All right.
This may be the best show we've ever done.
You've never had that? I've literally had a panic attack. Like
I had a phantom bidet once. I was pooping and then I just felt a gush of water. And then I was like, I don't have a bidet.
Oh my god.
all right.
Oh my god.
I have no good transition away from topics, so let's just end it there and say
No,
Restalgia.
we didn't finish AtGames. We didn't even talk about it.
I know. We got well, I was trying to transition, Mike. I'm trying to transition.
sorry.
Yeah, let's
I'm
talk about
sorry.
Phantom
I'm sorry.
Poops. That's gonna get us
Yeah.
out of.
I have no good Phantom Poop
Speaking of
transition.
shit, AtGames.
Oh no. That's a terrible transition. Okay. We're gonna talk. I'm trying to transition to Nod Canada, Phil. Calm down.
Oh
in the
my
live
God.
chat. Good God, I'm trying to transition, but how do we transition from Phantom Poops to National Owners Day? $2 super chat. Bring Glenn back. Thanks so much. We would love to have Glenn on all the time. Okay.
Somebody doesn't clip this into a YouTube short.
Oh my god.
All right. First off, the live chat. You guys are egging Mike on, so I'm going to take the live chat off the screen. All right.
Oh.
How do I get off poop?
So, guys, National
All
Owners
right,
Gotta
Day
get
is
off the
coming
pod,
up.
PDubs. You gotta get off the pod.
Nod. Oh, Nod. So I did a live stream when we got the news. That video did fantastic. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate your support. National Owners Day 2023. But you guys have heard my thoughts about it. What about Restalgia and Glenn? What are your thoughts about the National Owners Day 4K pinball, 4K arcade machines, Legends Voyager handheld, CPU upgrade kits? What is your guys' feedback? Because I've already done a big video about all this. Go ahead. I'll try and pull some of it up.
You can go ahead and start.
Oh, what? Want me to start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I always like
Wait,
when
hold on. Paul, shut up. 19K Fox could not transition from Phantom Poops to National Owners Day. He can't do it. I dare him. You tell him on his next Sunday This Week show, I dare him to transition from Phantom Poops to whatever the next topic is. You see if he can make it. Fox, I dare you. He can't do it. Nobody can do it. Get out of here, Paul. I still love you, Paul. Thanks so much. Eric, $10 super chat. Pair character bowing down, saying thank you. You're welcome.
I think it's an emoji.
Okay. All right, let's get off of that.
What are you, Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine? I see
Res-
Asterix.
You can't do it. You can't do Fox, you can't do it. You can't do it. I'll tell you what, Fox, if you could do it, I will shave off the bottom half of my goatee. If you can.
Oh my gosh. Fox,
if you can talk about
do
Phantom
not
Poops
let
on
me
your
down.
broadcast, if you can talk about Phantom Poops on your broadcast and do a successful transition that is smooth and seamless into the next topic,
PDubs.
I will shave off my
If
goatee.
anyone can do it, Fox can do it. You just
No,
made
he
it
can't.
dumb.
Nobody can do it. I can't do it. I'm trying to transition. We're still down there. All right.
It's crazy.
All right.
That's
Mark
crazy.
my words. I'll do the shave. Mark my words. Okay, Restalgia.
Hold on. Was
National
Glenn on
Owners
Police
Day.
Academy 1?
National Owners Day.
We gotta get back to Glenn. Glenn was talking. Glenn.
All right, Glenn.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind. But I do like when any company offers a way to keep your older stuff relevant. So if you bought older equipment, you're not left behind, which is great. The downside, though, is you get 4K on like the Legends Ultimate, you still have the standard monitor. So you're getting a processor upgrade, which is great, but you're not going to see anything better that way. Also, again, chips are still expensive, so they're kind of, even on new owners day, it's still kind of pricey. So I really don't know if there's a real reason to do that kind of upgrade unless you simply had to have the best of the best at the time. For the pinball machine, it might make more sense just to make them run better. But for like the Legends Ultimate, unless you could replace the monitor itself, to me, it doesn't really seem like a big jump. I know there's been a very diverse thing with the new interface. The new interface only works with the new board, apparently. It needs the processing power. Some people are complaining that it may look pretty, but now it takes longer to find the games that you want, which it potentially could. But again, I've always been the person to say I'd rather have the option and purchase if I want than not have the option to me at all.
So, Glenn, I'm going to tell you right now that new board you're saying it doesn't have a lot of use. Yes, exactly, if you're going to use it stock. But if you take a look just above you on the screen, there's a fellow there by the name of Pirate Pete who will tell you about all the extra stuff you can do with this board.
Well,
that's why you'll want to buy it.
But there is. But again, if you're doing something like this, I'm just being transparent and honest, because transparent is the word of the month. You can go on HDMI and put a PC or a Raspberry Pi that you may have at the house already and already have that ability without buying the board. So if you're looking for that ability, you could do it now without spending that money if you have a machine at home with HDMI and, connecting your controllers over Bluetooth or OTG.
Let's know in the live chat, guys. Are you happy that AtGames is at least providing an upgrade path and upgrade kits, or not? Let us know. Like, I think they're the only ones to do this. Like, everyone else has been, you got to buy a new cabinet. Arcade1Up, iiRcade. Like, if you want the next best thing, you got to buy a whole new cabinet, right? Like, I think it's a good thing. Like I said in my content this week. But there's going to be some trade-offs, right? There's going to be some trade-offs. So, yeah. Restalgia, what can you add? Can you add some value here, please?
A little bit, Glenn. Respectfully, I disagree with you about plugging in a Raspberry Pi and it doing what you're suggesting. The chipset that AtGames is putting out on their new board cripples the Raspberry Pi 4. It's like,
well, does it cripple an i7 Gen 9?
No, you're talking about putting in a PC, sure. But
I said if you listen to what I said, is you could go with a Raspberry Pi or a PC, Restalgia. I said one or the other, whatever you have at home.
I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. So, sure, if you have a PC that's got a mediocre CPU, then you're good. But as it pertains to people who just want a nice, clean setup, something that they can just turn on, run coin ops, and load up their favorite Dreamcast game, GameCube game, PlayStation 2 title. This is going to be a good option because that chipset can run some of the more advanced emulation types of titles.
Do people
real quick? I said something real quick. I want it to be known. that Restalgia said respectfully. He said it to me. He doesn't do that to you two. So thanks, Restalgia.
Yeah, but you've earned respect.
We've lost a lot. We've already lost everyone's respect.
So, just really quickly, Restalgia, do you really think there's a lot of people out there being like, "Oh, baby," looking at the LU, being like, "I can't wait to play Luigi's Mansion on you"?
No, but I think there's a lot of people who might be like, "Yo, I'm so excited to play like Tekken 4 or Tekken 5
that's
on the
fair.
ALU."
That's
so,
not Mortal Kombat 4.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. But I just think I think there's a market for it. I think there's a big market.
Guys, if you want to take your screenshots, this will give you a little bit of a comparison of an AtGames Legends Ultimate 4K arcade machine versus an AtGames Legends Ultimate, the 1.0s, the 1.1s, the 1.2s that have the upgrade kit installed. As you can see here, what are you giggling about? I'm trying to help people out. Take your screenshots now. I figured they'd find this information.
So when we were talking about the Arcade1Up leaks on like Reddit and stuff earlier, the stupidest joke in the world. All I was thinking was, "Oh crap! I opened Excel the other day and got a bunch of AtGames information I shouldn't have saw."
You guys are ridiculous. Here's something interesting. Let's take a look here at the upgrade kit on the AtGames Legends Ultimate. This is support up to 8K resolution. Did you see this? Restalgia, what do you think about that? With the AtGames Legends pinball can support up to 8K.
I think what they're suggesting. So technically it can support up to 8K. You're not going to get great performance running at 8K 60 frames. So realistically, you're going to be 4K, 60 frames, and you're going to get reasonable performance out of the chip.
Right.
I understand the marketing side of it. Technically, when you look at the specs of the SoC, it supports up to 8K. Nobody is going to be buying an 8K 32-inch monitor to throw into their ALP. That doesn't make sense. It's really expensive, and you're not going to get the performance that you want out of 8K.
Okay.
4K, though, that's where the money is. 4K at that size, you're good.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So
I do agree. I think for the pinball, it makes a little more sense.
Big time.
So I want people to see this right here. So the new AtGames Legends Ultimate, or if you get the upgrade kit, you'll notice with the built-in games, this is very important. So the Atari, Disney, and Tetris games will be gone, but there'll be even more Taito, Data East, Jaleco, Activision, ColecoVision, and Pico games versus what you have now, because you do have Atari, Tetris, and Disney games. So those
Well,
Atari,
you gotta play ColecoVision Princess in 4K.
So some people are asking, like, what games am I going to lose versus one versus the other that are stock? There you go. Me, I'm not too worried about it because I bring my own games. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but the people who just run stock stuff, you got to be aware of that. So these licenses won't be on the new cabinets. There you go.
I think AtGames is pretty aware of who their consumer is, and they're like, they're not going to care. They're not going to care if Disney's gone. And those are expensive licenses too. The only one I'm really sad about is Wreck-It Ralph, because Wreck-It Ralph's not exactly easy to find in other places. So that was one of the, I keep calling it Wreck-It Ralph. Fix-It Felix Jr. was one of the real big key selling points for me with the AtGames ecosystem. Like, it was so cool that you actually had that game on an arcade cabinet.
So this is the current games list, guys, of the 50 games that are going to be built into the new pinball machine coming out. If you guys want to take your screenshots now, if that matters. Obviously, you can get the entire library via download game packs and stuff. Plus, they're going to come out with 100 versions that are in 4K, 100 versions of 4K versions of these games. So it sounds like there's going to be multiple versions of these packs flying around. I see a lot of people getting confused and frustrated going through this process, unfortunately. So, but there you go. Looked like a good mix of the Taito and Zakaria games, just like on the ALP Micro, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Restalgia, how much money are you going to make off this Voyager console? How many videos do you think you're going to make showing people how to add shit to it?
Yeah. I don't think I need to make that many, but I don't know, 30, 40. That's how I make all. That's where I make all the content for my channel. It's all just how to see. What I'll do is I'll make an updated video every 6 months.
Yeah.
Just in case, one or two steps have changed. I just got to cover my bases. So.
Yeah, that is really nice that you do that for the community and not for yourself to make money. Like, that is so nice of you.
Who said it was for the community? What are you talking about?
So funny. You guys are hilarious. But yeah, tell us about the Legends Voyager handheld, Glenn. What do you think about AtGames coming out with their own handheld? Do you think that it's just too crowded of a market? Like, does it make sense?
No, again, they built up. Again, AtGames from years ago is very different than it is today. They built themselves a steady-paced ecosystem, so it actually makes sense for them to hit that market. They buy up their store, install the games. It gives them basically playing in the Legends here. You can take it with you. I think it actually makes sense. I personally liked the handle they made before. The small Atari one that they made. I thought it was well done. Need a potentiometer, but that's a whole nother story. But I think it's a good idea, and I'm hoping to help them expand that area.
It's good stuff, man. What about you, Restalgia? You're the king of handhelds.
I'm not the king of handhelds, but I do like handhelds.
No, he's not the king of just his hand.
There isn't a lot of handhelds. In fact, I can't think of any handheld that's running the RK3588 chip. And like I said, that chip is an absolute powerhouse. It is really snappy. It can handle a ton of processing power. I think.
How are they handling the heat?
That I was going to say, it's going to need an active cooling system. If they don't put in some type of active cooling system, then they're going to run into some pretty big issues with that device overheating.
What? What's so funny?
You ever watch The Simpsons where Krusty the Clown's going around and he touches something? He's like, it burns. Yeah, that's kind of hot if you leave it plugged in.
Do you guys want to do a deep dive with me on these replacement boards?
What does that mean?
All right, Restalgia, I might need you for some of this. So, for instance, I blew up the new AtGames board because a lot of people were asking. I saw a lot of feedback on my videos. They were like, this would be cool if it had HDMI out. That way, since AtGames isn't going to sell 4K monitors, if I upgraded my arcade machine, let's be honest, a 24-inch 4K monitor, like if you went and got one, well, $100 nowadays, right? Restalgia, like they're not that expensive. You could find one.
Yep.
But here's what's funny is, would this be compatible with it? Now, you notice when I zoom in here, we do have our LVDS connector right here. And I do see, again, I'm just being nosy, and of course, this is all subject to change. I did see where it said HDMI out right here. And then we have an HDMI here. We got another HDMI here, a couple USB ports right here. What is this madness, Restalgia? Are we going to have, can we do a monitor swap via HDMI, or are we going to be stuck with this LVDS?
Well, I think it's already been confirmed we can do HDMI. So this board should have one HDMI in and two HDMI out.
Yep,
but it's on the spec sheet.
Two here.
It's literally on the spec sheet that we were looking at. It says
no, it's not.
It says there's dual HDMI. What are you talking about?
No, it didn't.
Go pull up the sheet. I'm pretty sure it says dual HDMI on it.
I don't want to pull up the sheet because you're probably right.
I think it says dual HDMI.
I don't want to validate you,
I didn't think that was a deep dive.
I don't want to validate you.
It makes me so happy.
No, it's my life.
All right. Well, hold on. Well, if it does have, and that was,
pull it up. Maybe I misread. Pull it up.
That was the board for the arcade machine. Okay, good. So if it's got two HDMI out, that means people can go buy a 4K monitor and swap their monitor.
If the display will display primary out that port.
Yes,
that's true. All right. So hold on. Let me verify. I hope I'm right and he's wrong.
It's on the spec sheet. Well, it's all right. We got all day, man.
Yeah, I got nowhere else.
Take your time.
Hold on. Let me find it.
You're almost there. You're almost there.
God damn, could they make a bigger presentation? Jesus Christ.
It's a long presentation.
There we go. Pull it up, buddy.
PDubs, why are you doubting Restalgia about the spec sheet? Obviously, he provided the spec sheet for AtGames.
Oh, what do you know? There it is.
Well, hey, get that off of there. I wasn't ready. Well, we really don't want to validate Restalgia, but do us a favor, guys. If you enjoyed the broadcast, give us a thumbs up on the way out. Thanks for subscribing. Make sure you subscribe to all the hosts, especially Glenn's Retro Show. He's kicking it old school every Friday night right before our show goes live. Make sure you check that out on YouTube.
Can I tell you a secret? That might be cool. Pull up the spec sheet for a second.
No, I'm not. No,
just pull it up for 1 second.
No, I'm not.
This is actually good information.
No, because you're going to be texting me all weekend.
Oh, I'm not.
I was right again.
Okay,
you're a
so
boomer,
fine. You know what?
You're a boomer.